Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Tis that time again. Hope you're all doing well, ladies and gentlemen. Time to get this show on the road for both platforms, YouTube and TikTok. Welcome guys, and as always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome to another London session. Obviously yesterday not on stream with the bank holiday, so didn't take any trades personally. Did have a little bit an education session with my team, so I was still active on the charts for a little bit, but had no intention of trading. Anyway, moving forward today, we'll see what we can come up with as per usual on both gold and GJ. Guys, if you have any questions or any charts or any pairs you'd like me to send in, please feel free to share that into the chat and I'll get to you guys shortly. It's the only stream that would do it for you without requesting a chart prior to it. Everyone else will nag and whinge. You don't send a chart, you don't get an update. Quickly, let's have a look at the news for today. Let's just refresh this. And what we can see is for our session here today, nothing scheduled. So nothing much in regards to news for us today. Moving forward this week though, what we can see is big day here on Wednesday, and Wednesday for the US dollar with FOMC, so obviously it's going to have a big impact on things. And Thursday also we've got the Bank of England meeting, monetary policy statement, so big few days ahead as far as the news, but nothing for today as scheduled. Alright guys, so without further ado, if you guys on TikTok, smash that screen for me if you could, be much appreciated. And you guys on YouTube, you know the drill, hit that like button. Alright team, let's have a look and let's start with the gold. Just something I want to bring up quickly on gold. Mentioned it to my team last week, that 3200 level did line up with some previous levels here to the left. Mention it that could be potentially a really good point of entry for a longer term position. So what I did mention was wait for a structure to flip on a 30, which it did do. I had a runner going, if you guys remember from last week, but I obviously, unfortunately, got taken out before it took off again. Did manage to secure some decent profit on it nonetheless. So holding true that level, and look where we are now. Onto the weekly, and I would now revert to the current weekly. I know the previous close strong bearish, but as of today, Tuesday morning for UK time, evening for us here in Asia or Oz more in particular, we're bullish engulfing. So off the back of that, I'm more concerned by the strength of the current weekly candle, and where potentially within it we could pull back to perhaps form a support, head back up, or if there's going to be potential options upon continuation above that current weekly candle's high. Onto the daily. So the daily has actually, it's broken through resistance, but it's currently pulling back below it. Are we just grabbing liquidity from it? That's something that remains to be seen. All depends really on how this candle actually closes on the daily. But what we do have is counter probabilities being to the upside. It's also marking the current daily candles low though. See what we've got below that point. If we were to break the high, we definitely have scope to push back up towards the all-time high yet again. 34.24 would be the first destination potentially, and then all the way back up to that 3500 flight region. Onto the 4-hour. Pretty significant closure at the end of trading for yesterday. How we closed above this resistance to the left. The previous candle pulled back, still remains above it though. So it's a very key junction in price that we're currently at. So I'm just gonna, for that matter, I'm just likely will adjust this shortly. I'm just gonna draw that previous level in anyway. I just want to see what it looks like on the minor time frame. So also going to draw in a daily high is a 4-hour resistance. We know above it we've got some clean traffic to the left, so likely we're going to be looking for continuation buys above that high. And what we can see is also the 4 hours flip structure. So the 4 hours flip back bullish in line with that weekly, in line with the daily. So we're likely going to have a bias to the upside for V0, and we can confirm that now for 30-minute also being in a big strong uptrend at the minute. So off the back of that, the preference would be to buy gold here today. It is very bullish. What I am noticing though, so I'm now just going to remove that zone. We know that if this is to be the low of the session at current support, so I'll just mark this in. If that is to be the low, there's a good chance we're going to retest the high. We know off the back of the fact that price is respecting a solid resistance here to the left. However, we begin to break it, we know there's a good chance we're heading back down perhaps this 33.25 region. Now, would be counter trend, it would come at risk. One good thing though I can see to validate the entry is it's very clean to the left. We've got to really zoom out so we had a little bit of consolidation past this level, but otherwise the moves either side of it have been to the left hand side, but up and down have been very clean. So off the back of that, I would still consider some counter trend sells, but would not be greedy. I'd be going to break even as quickly as possible and securing partials early as well, just because it's counter trend, it's in a big strong uptrend. I want to get caught out in just any sort of liquidity grab from the downside in order to continue up. Currently, as I see things, that's the sells. For the potential buys, guys, likely going to be looking for, well, right now we don't really have a catalyst. We're looking like we're potentially exhausting the current level, which is pretty much just the area of consolidation. So at this rate, I kind of need a really strong closure. And off the back of that, that may suggest that we're ready to head back up and retest the current daily candles high. So my options are likely going to be, if that's to present, otherwise pull back towards that 33.50, 52 region. Look for price to form support yet again, and look for an option to take a buy back up towards the current daily candles high. As we mentioned before, got some very clean traffic to left above the current daily candles high. So I'd obviously be looking for to see how price approaches, preferably the closure, retest, and continuation for some highly probable buys in my opinion. So that's what I'd be looking at on the gold currently. I definitely would prefer the buys. I will have to, depending on how things go, for if it does reject, I'm gonna have to be very strict with any counter trend. So otherwise the better sell is far off the minute, and that's when you got some confirmation of a structure flip on the M30, and that is back below 23.50, so well off that. So that is my opinion of the gold, guys. Hopefully it did make sense. Make sure to smash that like button, YouTube, TikTok, hit that screen for me. And 2 and a bit minutes left of the current candle. 5 minute looking not bad. Let's just see. 40 odd pip. All right. I reckon what I'm going to preference is, because it's coming from consolidation, I'd rather a 30-minute closing out of it, and within it I'd want a second 15 to close weak bearish. And that would give me my minor pause. So sorry guys. Like so, if we tap back into that level and then close week bearish, then I could look for the entry potentially at session open to begin to break the high of bearish pause candle. So we'll wait and see for that. So that's what I'd be currently looking at. Let's move to GJ as well. Let's take a look. For the most part, it's been in some heavy consolidation of late. Weekly, still no upper wick. Doesn't necessarily need one. I would call that previous candle a weak bullish candle. So if we begin to break the lows, good chance we will continue to downside. However, if we do begin to flip, there's a good chance we're going to head up towards the previous weekly candle's high. So let's just mark in the high and the open of the current weekly. Let's go down to the daily, and what we can see, yes, we are forming a series of higher lows, but no, the structure is not flipped yet back bullish. These are all insignificant higher lows in regards to the actual trend. The trend is bearish, and in order for it to flip back bullish, we need to start to close back above, really back above these highs. So yes, again, granted, we are creating some high lows, high highs within the structure itself, but what we do have is counter probabilities being to the downside. The previous candle closed strong bearish, current candle lower high, lower low, has a little bit of room by the looks of it in the downside to head back down towards 190.70. What we're going to do is mark in the high though, and also the low. We'll mark in the high, reason being is because if we have tapped into any level on the 4 hour and seen that daily has a lower high, lower low, we were to continue bearish, we don't necessarily need to pull back and once again break our own high. If we do so, having, again, let's just go down to the 4 hour, not quite really tapped into anything on the 4 hour as well. So we're still going to keep that level in though, the current daily candle's high. I'm going to see what we got below that point, above it. I'm going to see what we got obviously below it now on the 4 hour, quite clean. And the 4 hour structure is definitely bullish from that big impulse from towards the end of last week. Did flip the structure back bullish. So we're bearish on the daily, bullish on the 4 hour, bullish still on the weekly. Let me just mark in the zone of support as well. The downside, just mark in that for the time being. Now onto the all important 30-minute time frame, and structurally that appears to be definitely bearish, and that will flip back bullish on a closure above this swing point just here. So price is technically right now bearish still on GJ. The back of that, I would prefer the sells. What option do we have though to buy it? For the buys, we need a structure flip. So for the buys, what I'm likely going to be waiting for is this first of all to happen. Confirmation of a structure flipping. Let it create a clean impulse, cut through some of the wicks here to the left. Closure back at the support and continuation. We will see though how it does close above. Let's just quickly go into the 15. I mean, if it does close above, quite choppy. Yeah, we're likely going to need to wait for the first impulse to the upside if it is to actually flip bullish in a 30-minute time frame. Retest, form support, and then look for options to buy it. Otherwise, guys, I'm just going to be looking for options to sell at this rate below the current daily candle's low. We've got some clean traffic to left below that point there. Would make sense. Again, seeing the daily has pulled back to create its upper wick yet again. So if it did begin to now approach the support and pop below it, close below it, retest it, there's going to be options to sell it. May even consider impulse entries. It all just depends how we do approach that level. So my preference on GJ is to sell it. On gold, my preference is to buy it. And I hope that all makes sense, guys. Let's have a good one. Let's not rush. Let's just do our thing. As we know on this stream, patience definitely pays, guys. So that's what we're going to be doing yet again, waiting patiently. In the meantime, everyone, welcome. Everyone on YouTube, you guys know who you are. Renko, Wei Liang, Lau, Carl, Jack, man, appreciate it. Wei Liang, I'll look at it shortly. TikTok, thank you to all the new followers already. And let me see, what have we got? F90, g'day to you. Mark, no, it is working, mate. It's definitely working, otherwise there won't be, the chat won't be rolling in YouTube. Try it again, mate, if you're trying to join the YouTube stream. What else? Cooking made easy. Sorry, cooking made easy. I started my journey today. How long have you been doing it? Trading more than 8 years now. So you've, yeah, got a long way to go. Just take your time with it. You're probably going to make a lot of mistakes. You're likely going to blow an account or two. It's kind of what everyone has to go through before they can really begin to learn and make it. So you got a long way to go. Alexandril, back Forex, no Lambo, no risk. Interesting, back Forex. I think you're missing a letter, mate. Learn how to spell. Life quotes. Good morning to you, mate. Hope you're well. And welcome to the VIP as well, mate. Ed Lee, when is it showing 3 green bars together? Then it's time to buy. If that's your signal, then why not? Wayne, good morning to you. And when it's 3 red, then it's time to sell. Fair enough. And when it reached rock bottom, then it's time to close all positions to make a massive buy. There you go. Analysis made simple. When it's reached peak, maximum price, then it's time to make a massive sell. Thank you for all this knowledge. Appreciate it. Oh, it's showing 3. It's yep. Well, I read that about 5 times already. David, looking at gold at the minute. 3 bars formula. It's simple. All good. But very powerful. Nice one. If you got the data to back it up, I'm happy for you, my friend. As long as you're keeping profitable and consistent, that's the main thing. Wayne, morning to you. So UJ. So what again? Once again, what I'm waiting here for on gold, guys, is a pause on the 15. So we got finally a move away from this consolidation and above the resistance. I want to make sure though it's just not a liquidity grab in order for us to head back down towards the support here at 33.50. So what I'm waiting to see is, and what we're about to do is tap into the most recent resistance, and at that point I'm gonna wait for a weak bearish closure for a potential buy at London Open. Now a limit order, what is not that bad an option at the minute too, but it's not quite tapped in by the looks of it. No, I would have just missed being tagged in. Yeah, so with 8 minutes left, I'm going to wait for session open. Like I said, just over 8 minutes. And if this closes weak bearish, I'm going to set 5 stop. Once we've got a low wick at London Open count, I'm looking for a continuation buy above the pause. So that's what I'm currently looking at. UJ, let me take a look at that for our friend in the YouTube chat. All right, on to the weekly, and same as GJ. Call out weak bullish, but what we're doing is, we're, at least on UJ, if we form an up week, it's open gap to the downside. Anyway, forming bearish. Looking at the daily structure itself is actually bearish. Let's just mark in the previous daily, which was a bearish candle as well. If we begin to break it, it's a good chance we could continue in line with the structure itself. Our structure is to be technically bullish. Heavy consolidation at the minute on the 4 hour, so we really need to clear it for more probable entries. The downside looks very good below that previous daily low. Resistance, we're going to mark that level in, looks decent above it perhaps on the 4 hour. So we're bullish on the 4 hour, bearish on the daily, bullish on the weekly, and the 30-minute time frame is actually bullish. So bullish again weekly, bullish 30, and bullish 4 hour. So it's a bullish bias. All right, forming some resistance potential. Well, have we on 15? Looks like, yep, we already have. That's the entry point for bias. We begin to pop above that point there, lean traffic up towards the high. A little bit of congestion on 15, but if you applied off the 30, closure above, retest, And there's the option to buy it. Buys above 143.920 roughly. Now for the sells, what I'd be looking for is the confirmation on the 30 of a closure below. It's going to flip the structure bearish on the M30. It's going to give us back a neutral bias. So I should be waiting for that. Closure below it, tap in, and sells below 143.537. Very simple analysis. That's what I've been looking at on UJ. Remove that for the time being. All right, once again, guys, waiting for a weak pause. If we get a weak pause, now I'm going to use the 50% in this case because the volume on gold is quite strong still. So I would say if we close pretty much where we're at, it's valid. Obviously above the 0.382, we'll mark both in. Oops, wrong way around. .382 means it's a really high probability entry. Up to 0.5, it's still valid. Sorry, guys. So above that point. All right. That's what I'm waiting for. Oh, what did I do? All these guys. To my team, let me share with you guys a link for those who are interested. Deluxe 10, hi mate 8, just support and resistance, just retail trading. I'm new to trading. Retail trading, support resistance. I mean, it's just a form of trading, really. Again, I trade price action, so gonna mark in that level, by the way. We've broken. I mean, support is a good area to start thinking about getting involved in potential buy options, and resistance obviously some sell options. For me, it's more than just waiting for one counter close back bullish. That's not just enough. More on most occasions, I have catalyst, I have signals within the price action I want to see at either level. That's why I patiently wait. I'm gonna mark in that because that's the highest point of any 30 or 15. Deadly, patience is of virtue, correct. Franco, maybe GBPJPY is coming to play for London. Point to you, by the way, I see you just popped on.
Hey, yeah, good morning. How are you?
All good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Also good.
Nice. Yep. GU?
Yeah, maybe, but right now it's if we close below.
Yeah, it's
entry.
Currently rejecting, isn't it?
It was coming up, so, and I thought maybe if we close above this bearish candle, so there might be a good chance to take some buys there. But right now, still we have 4 minutes. Maybe there's something.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, it'd be nice if we close back weak bearish, even at the low of that blue zone. You can see gold is also looking quite similar at the moment. So I'm wanting gold to bounce off the current level. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, when I open the charts, there was this nice move to the downside at the M30 time frame.
Yep.
At gold. So, but it was too early for me. As you know, I'm not going into the market before Frankfurt open.
Yep. That's fair enough. Let's just see 2 minutes where we're at on gold and GU. GJ, nothing at the session open. So we'll see. We want it to bounce off this level. Thank you to new followers. Share the screen if you could also, guys, be much appreciated. Make sure to smash the screen. Matthias, I'm in gold long right now. Week 4 also day H4. My entry was when price closed massive fair value. All good. Well done. What's the blue zone? The blue zone is the minor resistance. So it's a 30-minute and 15-minute level. It's the high of any bearish candle at the 30-minute time frame, and a 15 at that level. So we are pulling back into it. Really want to bounce in the next minute and 15, because if it closes like this, it's a very strong bearish candle closure. Then my options are going to be having to wait, if we are to look for buys anyway, for it to close back above on the following M15. Thing with that, it could be another play coming into effect, the interruption play. If this is the one pause candle, if the next candle does engulf it, then we could have the option of the pause play. But just keep an eye on it, guys. I'm just going to get it ready in case. I'm not going to set any order, but I'm going to have a high of the current bearish candle set, and that's 33.6720, 33.6740. Potential entry point. Stop loss will be below this bearish candle, so it has to close at least above the 50. So we want it to pull, pop back up a little bit now. And just trading based off rules, it just gives you a yes or no answer. There's no ifs, buts, maybes. All right, so close below. So there's no impulse entry if it begins to break. Now I simply need to wait for this. I know exactly what to wait for on the next candle. Something like that, and there's a couple options there, whether it be on the limit orders that retest the bearish candle high, or continuation. Still got clean traffic to the left. So very simply, that's what I now need to wait for. There's again no FOMO if it breaks. I'm not interested in selling it, especially considering we're above the resistance here still, and we're in a big strong uptrend. So I'm just patiently going to wait. All part of the rules, guys. All part of the rules. Judgment, if you hit stop loss and bounces back up, how do you deal with it? You just got to move on. Maybe you made an error with your entry. Perhaps you may have jumped the gun. Look, if you followed your plan, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just is what it is. You can't always win. For me, I just patiently wait. Sometimes if it's a really valid entry, then I will take the re-entry, but not often. Look at gold right now. It's got no low weekends, just pumping. There is nothing I can do about it. Know exactly where I want to get involved, but there's nothing I can do about this. There's no way for me to force my way in currently. Oh, gee, you had to close a little bit higher up. Had no lower wick.
Yeah.
Can you do it? Not a great deal you can do in that situation. So just now wait. There's a reason why I'm very consistent, because I follow the rules that I've tested out for years and years and years and gathered the data. It's just about patience. That's all it is, guys. You miss a move, forget it. Reassess, come up with another plan, and create some more rules. And if it's ticked off, that's when you enter. Not you chill, you watch the market do its thing, and that's all you can do. What are you trading? This is gold. GJ is the other pair I do personally trade. Just haven't had many options of late. It's been very choppy every time I come to the charts. Hey Lee, all good. Happy for you. Well done if you are in a buy. Congratulations. Again, for me, I just don't stress it. And if it ticks the box, I enter. If not, I chill. I couldn't give a shit, to be honest. I can't stress enough, that's just the way you need to trade. If you want success, you just can't be anxious, can't be nervous. You got to have a plan and know exactly what you're looking for, and just chill. Let the charts do its thing. Let it come to you. Don't hunt. If you hunt, you're gonna get wrecked. Sketchman's good aid to you. How good was that call? I'll see if I can find it from last Thursday or Friday about gold. Something happened also today, which absolutely perfect. You'd be flying in profit based off the 4 hour. Yeah, just here how I mentioned, could be catalyst level, look for buys for M30 structure, having flipped back bullish. Buys from this level could be potentially a good hold for a longer term trade. And look at it now, that was back at 3200, or that last Thursday I think it was. Now it's at 3366. So again, I was in it, but my run did get stopped out, but nonetheless, again, it's just the back of, you know, knowledge and knowing exactly what to look for at these major levels. So it was bearish, wait for a catalyst, wait for a 30 minutes flip, and there's a good chance we're gonna really head back up. Just like here, no lower wick. Look at it now, maybe back in a bit of drawdown. Wayne, good advice. Appreciate it. Deluxe 10. I'm gold chart view 15-minute on gold. It looks different to your chart. What broker are you using, mate? They're all different brokers. Italy, more green past the red, should be a buy. Maybe. Cash step, bro. Well, how many entries? There's multiple entries, but as far as strategies, it's pretty much the same thing. And to be honest, all the entries, the catalyst, all the entries are pretty much the exact same. They're just at different levels on the chart. That's the main difference, to be honest, guys. That's kind of one hack that my team can use. It just all depends on what level we're at, and that will define what type of entry it is. But the actual catalysts themselves are pretty much the exact same. Who me more sell? Yeah, for me, I'm preferring the buys, but again, it's just without that lower wick and with the strength of that bearish closure on the previous M15, there was no impulse buys. And again, glad I didn't take it, because look at it now. Sarah, yep, good day to you. Deluxe Vantage Broker of Trading View. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, different brokers, different price. I know for whatever reason, I see markets on TradingView is 2 minutes behind, unless it's been fixed. No, it's 2 minutes behind still. For whatever reason, it's a really strange one. It's 2 minutes behind all the other brokers, so that's why I don't use it to chart, even though it is the broker I personally trade with. On my actual trade terminal, it's not, it's in sync with the time. So Joe, on real trade, that would be insane if it was still open. Yeah, Jack, would be, but unfortunately, again, I trailed my stop, and it's what it is. Still a really good trade. So, but obviously for those who are like a swing trade, you can have a wider stop loss. You'd be absolutely lapping it up at the minute. All right, guys, so I need a strong closure here on the 15. The dangerous thing is we still don't have a low wick, and it doesn't necessarily need to create one, but the probabilities are that it will. There's still a very good chance we could do so. But if we had 15 minutes of data and we engulf significantly, then I may consider the limit order buy. So for that to be valid, let's just measure this. So that is the high of the bearish candle. So it needs to be about 8 to 10 pips above. So therefore it needs to end up closing around that 33.68, 10. We'll just round it up to. In order for it to be valid on a limit order. Stop loss would have to be below the current candle's low. By the looks of it, there's still a fair bit of volume in these candles as well, so it's going to be quite a wide one. Display X key, the market of gold, crazy, sometimes running with no liquidity or low. Yeah, it's done that quite often of late, hasn't it? I remember who I was speaking to about that recently. But yeah, it's something I've noticed as well. Bashi, bull or bear on gold? Buy golf? Buy gold? Yeah, I would prefer to buy gold at the minute, but just wait for a confirmation. Similar circumstance. Very similar circumstance here on GU. Limit order could be a decent option. So we'll just focus on gold anyway, guys. We've got about 5 and a bit minutes remaining. Now this is something that's played out a lot of late. It happened on the 4 hour. Daily. Was it daily or 4 hour? I swear I saw it. Or was that GJ? Swear I saw it earlier. Sent it into the group. Oh, seeing things, Emma. Yep. It was on gold H4 here. For whatever reason, it's not the same on this broker though. But there was an interruption play. Literally tapped in and it's not looked back since. So that's the type of thing I could potentially look for here on the M15.
You going somewhere? I'm sure you're fine again.
Leeway for reach peak price, then close all your positions and make a massive sell. There we go. LV, why is that blue area there and what significance does it hold? It's a minor zone on the M30 and what we've just done in 15 as well. It's a resistance, we've tapped into it and we remain above it and we're since starting to push away from it. So based off that, as long as we remain above it, I feel there's a high probability that price is more likely to head back up to that resistance than what it is head back down to this support. So that is the significance of it. I just need to patiently wait 3 minutes. So obviously it can't just push in the next 3 minutes and I'll 50, 40 pips or something, because then it's just going to be too far gone. If it closed pretty much where it's at, it's going to be valid. Zero high, could you have a trading court or Oasis skin? I'm not sure what you're asking, but I will put the entry up there if I am to set an order. I need to wait 2.5 minutes. And what I will be looking at is potentially that on the following candle. That's something I could potentially be looking at. The one concern still is the fact that we've not got that lower wick. It is the one thing that is something to be a little bit wary of, but it's still going to be valid. guys, once again, no entry yet. Waiting for it to become valid. So we can just remove that. It's gonna close above it. So the zone to zone would have actually worked, but it just would have taken a fair bit of time to tag you in the limit order zone to zone. Maybe it won't be valid. I can't pull back to, again, below 68.10. Below 68.10, it's not going to be valid. On 30 seconds now, guys. Let's see. So the high on my broker is 20. We're at 33, 67, 20. I'd have to stop below the bearish candle. Oh god, it's close. He's the really want to pop up a tiny bit. Oh man, it's not valid. What are the odds? Again, this is all rule based, guys. It's just following the rules. The rule was 10. It's closed below it. What can I do? There's reasons why I have these rules, because they work. They work. Not stress it enough. For me, they work. That's where it needs to close above. It's literally closed back below it. This is where it comes a bit tricky, to be honest. This is where, once again, the only next potential option. So as data prints, I need to reassess. My next potential options are one of two things. If it's to happen on the following, it can't happen on this 15. If it's to happen on the following 15, very simple. This one has to close back weak bearish. Like so, and then we consider that a pause, and I can look for an impulse entry above the high. Now, if that doesn't present, which looks like it may not do so at the minute, what I then need to wait for is this 15-minute candle to do its thing. Still got room to the upside, so we've got margin, and then wait for the next 15-minute candle to close weak bearish. As soon as that happens, exact same scenario as before, what I was looking for down here. Just need a low wick on the next candle. As it begins to break above, that's the entry. So very simple. That's my next steps. That's what I'm waiting for. Daniel, g'day to you. G'day to everyone in the chat, by the way. All the members, appreciate you. Do you do one-on-one sessions deluxe? Yeah, I do. To be honest, I prefer the VIP. To be honest, man. I do them. I mean, the best option is the platinum VIP. That's the best option because that gives you the best of both worlds. Sarah, no. So it's not valid. No longer valid. And what it's done now, it's also created the upper wick. And it hasn't closed, again, strongly enough above where I want it to close. So the issue with, and why I don't take that, or don't consider it valid, is because creating that low wick, it could pull more significantly into that drawdown. Because we know it's gold, it has a lot of volume, so there is a good chance it's going to create a decent low wick. If we closed higher up, like so, then by letting it create a significant low wick, there is a good chance that low wick may actually just tap into the high of that bearish candle, maybe just a tad below it. You're not stuck in in big drawdown and then it begins to flip. Off the back of that closure, I mean, let's just measure how much drawdown would have you had already had you still kept the order in. I never actually set it, obviously. Let's say that's your entry, so you've had about roughly 14 pip drawdown. Not crazy drawdown, but still it would be, you know, almost halfway into your full stop loss, so you wouldn't be feeling great about it. LV, would I say supply demand zones work? Yeah, I call it support resistance. Some people say it's not, that's not supply, it's not demand, it's different. I understand they call, for instance, this level of supply. Yeah, I get it. I just call that the support at that level of supply, and that's what I mark in. And I know if we close below it, doesn't mean I'm necessarily just going to sell it. I need to wait for, especially in this case, retest, and then potential sells on continuation below to low. Obviously it's retested, it's never come back down towards that level, so it would not have been an entry. And same to the upside, they call the demand zone. Am I getting it wrong? Either way, same shit. They call the resistance the demand zone, and that's where they deem that likely you're gonna have sellers present. Actually, they call it like the 4 hour levels, to be honest, the high time frame, demand and supply. Look, there is no right or wrong, it's just what works. That's what there is, what works for you. But let's see, guys, will it close weak bearish? Let's just, once again, let's mark this in. Now, 0.382, because it's got a significant upper wick. We want it above that 0.382. Around it. Let's put the 0.5 in, and we will consider it. We definitely will consider it. But again, the higher probability entries if it closes above the 0.382. Deluxe. The platinum includes 2 private sessions a month. Sylvia, good afternoon. Yesterday was a good day. Got an entry 32.73, hit TP. Nice one. Good work, my friend. Happy to hear it. LV, how long have you been trading? How long did it take you to be profitable? Probably about 4 years of stupidity, to be honest. This thing pop now. Wow. All right. All good. Could be plan B, waiting for the next 15-minute counts close. Yeah, to be honest, good, probably 3+ years of stupidity. To be honest, the first couple of years was mainly swing trading, so that was part of it. LV, been training for a year and just started a live account. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. Yeah, emotionally, it's going to really drain you. It's going to be a big test. That's why it's very important to have a solid plan and some rules that you've tried, tested. So gold right now, it's doing its thing. GJ is just consolidating. It's absolute trash. Oh, GU. Limit orders would have been a much better option on GU. Wow, look at that. And you'd be safely in profit.
Yeah, but I didn't like the bullish candle without the lower bit.
Oh, okay. The way it rejected. Daniel, no, I didn't like limit order. Again, just following simple rules. Wow. Interesting one. So it's pushing, all good. It's gold, what time frame? KSB, this is the 15. Sarah, no, again, became invalid. Things that shouldn't be FOMO, guys. They really shouldn't. FOMO and me, there is no such thing. Yeah, look at that. Bit of a pump off the 5-minute time frame here without, again, a lower wick. I just can't see what it's tapped into to sort of warrant the current move, but again, it's gold. It can do whatever it wants. All good. Tony Gold, welcome to you, mate. Hope you're well. Gonna remove that for the time being on GJ. We're smack bang in consolidation, so absolutely nothing on GJ at the minute. Just want to see something just quickly. So my team who weren't present for yesterday's education session did drop a little nugget on there in regards to how we can use the 1 minute, but you've got to properly test it for yourself. You need to really be careful. To be honest, I forgot about that entry. I completely forgot about it. To remind us, there's so such thing as the one and only strategy. There is no such thing. I agree. There isn't, because it's just whatever works for you. LV, how do I know? So 4 hour. I look first of all at that time frame. Initially, that would be my resistance from the body to the highest point of really any bearish candle that level. It doesn't have to be the same candle. Then I go down to the minor time frame. And I just want to ensure, again, it's because of the 4 hour, you have to leave that highest point in. I can adjust it, or I can just leave it as is. So I can just adjust it to 15 if I wanted to that point. Get into the body to the highest point, the same to the downside. Body of any bullish candle to the lowest point of any bullish candle. It's not always going to be the same candle. In this particular case, we've tapped into that resistance, we've bounced off it. Yeah, that's a tricky one on gold, to be honest. That's not one in my repertoire. What would have stop loss have been? Yeah, still about 58 pips roughly by the looks of it. Sorry, chat move. Can't backtest whatever works out for you. Jeremiah, so I agree 100%. Might be what I do. You may not be able to make that work for you. Might be what someone else does, but you need to actually test things out before you write something off. UFU. And chat keeps moving. UFU. Sky. These names. Sky Richie's 190. Do you come live daily? Yeah, Monday to Friday. To the arrow? Sorry, to the cross. You obviously missed. No, I didn't miss an entry. It wasn't valid. Again, according to my planning, if it was valid, in accordance to your guys' plan, you entered, fantastic. If you didn't, because you're waiting for my signal, then I wouldn't be too impressed with yourself, to be honest, because you should just do what your plan says you ought to do. My plan, that wasn't a valid entry. My plan was to wait. It looked like it may set up and then just flip, so not much you can do about it. Just wait.
Looking for UJ, Justin. It's coming hard down. Maybe there will be some sells coming to play.
Yeah, strong closure now. What do you think I'm about to look on? What time frame?
No, M30. I'm looking right now.
Yeah, I'm
M30.
saying, what do you think I'm about to do? 5. Alright,
So yeah,
not gonna have that confirmation.
yeah, maybe need to look if we retest the support.
Yep, potential limit order as well. Limit order sell, stop loss back above the high of the previous candle, which is the current. Continuation sell would also look pretty good, still got margin. I would prefer for that to be the case. Options would be let it pull straight back up, tap in, and buy it as it sell it, sorry, as it flips back bearish. Or just patiently wait for its break low. But the limit order looks pretty good. Limit sell, back at low of that bullish candle. That's support. Gold, so I've still got room to the upside. So again, I just need to wait now and see if the next 15 closes the week bearish. And I still may have an option, guys. I'm not running this thing off. Jeremiah, so use SMC with trend-based fib, my fib extension, fair value ups. That's all good. I hope it's something that works for you. Ed Lee, yep. I think you've said that about 15 times already.
Unfortunately, no entry on
UJ, F90 as well as asking about it. Oh, it's melting. Wow, that's unusual for you, Jay. That's just dropped 8 pips in an instant. The dollar is shitting itself. Let's just quickly look at it. Yeah, the Dixie is really selling off. Yeah, it's a bit tough without that wick though. Gold doing its thing. Max Willow, I sent Toronto guy to do all my trading, but he set me up demo account. It says it will change. Well, you shouldn't have sent any money to any person, and especially this is not a scam. There is a scam account that I'm aware of, and I've reported them, but TikTok continue to do nothing about it. It's just beside me. It's so frustrating because I was sent a screenshot of the messages that this guy, I actually made a fake account and followed the guy, and he actually tried to sell a copy trade, I don't know what it is, some crypto investment to me. He doesn't even know that he's dealing with the actual real, you know, A.C.T. Forex profile. I just made up just another account, some random name. So no, I am not a scam. Once again, make this clear, guys. Let's just make this clear because it really pisses me off. I never ever will DM any of you initiating contact, nor will I ever ask you to send me any money or invest in any bullshit crypto scam. Let's just put this to rest, okay? It's so freaking frustrating because what I do, I trade live. I show you guys what I do live. If you want to know more, you're more than welcome to suss things out about the VIP, join the group. There's no arm twisting if you don't want to. It's all good. Sit here, chill, watch me trade, learn some things. That's all I ask for. So just block these people, report them. It really shits me to tears because I know some people are going to fall for it. And they've actually copied my Discord. So it could be an ex-member, I'm not sure. They may have downloaded all the content. which I have no idea how they're doing because it should be listed as private. They shouldn't be allowed to. And it's just so frustrating because they're, you know, scamming people. I'm doing it legitimately on stream, showing you guys how I do it. I never ask for a cent from any of you, not 1 cent. So make that, you know, make your decision. It's up to you. You want to stick around? Stick around. If you don't, I really couldn't give a shit, to be honest, because I know those who really want to learn are here. Just don't be daft. Don't be stupid, guys. Don't send some money to someone, whether it be a scam account of mine or any other person for that matter, who's asking you to invest in it. There's no such thing as a quick fix like that. Trust me. Deluxe 10, you should be able to click here. So countdown to bar close, somewhere here. Or settings, probably countdown to bar close. It's just there, it tells you right there. Right there. Gold doing its thing, all good. So it's just the way it is. So I gotta just chill. Can't jump in because I see it pump. There's just no FOMO. It's just not how I go about it. Feel all good. Well, Leon, UJ, nice one, good work. Plus, it's so obvious, guys. You look at my profile, I don't follow anyone. I do not follow one single person. The scam account follows more people, I think, than that follows themselves. And that's for obvious reasons. Don't be daft, guys. Seriously. If you're falling for it, yes, it's frustrating, but you should be smart enough to know that, you know, whether something's a scam or not. Especially in this industry. So what's the top part that you're talking about? This is, that's the resistance to 4 hour level. Man, music, this is, it's not stock, it's spot gold. Mark, Justin won the realest traders of any platform. Appreciate it, my friend. Again, I dish out so much education on the stream. Yeah, we don't trade all the time. Yeah, I'll go through stretches where I won't get many options whatsoever. But it doesn't mean I'm not trading, you know, with my team, or to be honest, I don't really trade away from either my team or stream. And you know, when it rains, it pours. LV going through short and supply zone. It's not the worst idea, but again, I just need to wait for some sort of confirmation. I may have a plan for a limit order too, by the way. Life quotes. This guy is really good. Join his VIP. The amount of education stuff is unreal. Appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, again, I try to do my best to, and also just to make sure you guys understand it. I always say you guys are more than welcome to contact me. I can't stress it enough. I really want you guys to learn. No point, and it's not expensive. Like I said, it's little more than a streaming service. Netflix is pretty much the same price. And you can contact me whenever with questions, and always there to help. Lucas, anyone that I followed who trades on TikTok has hundreds of fake accounts, which, yeah, exactly. It's just frustrating when people come on, this is a scam. The scam account doesn't go live. That's why I say, when people ask me, how do you know who to follow, or how can I learn? Follow and watch the live traders, because we can't scam you, we're doing it live. That's why I'm cautious. That's why I take only valid entries, because I'm not gonna, you know, A, I don't want to lose money, and B, it looks bad on my brand, my name, and what I do if I just take a shit trade and I lose. Thank you for the sub on YouTube. Young Knack, can you make the screen small? Can't see the price. Can't, mate. I think that's one of the things that triggers the ban hammer on TikTok. Again, I'm on YouTube. You can see the full screen there on YouTube. Lucas Marsh, yes, that's where TP would be if you're in a long. So no, I didn't get the valid entry. I was close to a few times, but not quite. LV, it's $30 US. It's really not that much. And to be honest, I don't even get that much of it. Once you account for the block fees and all that, it's ridiculous. But I think it's very fairly priced, personally. You get access to the course, you get access to myself, you get access to... I mean, we're on last week, Monday to Friday, after the stream, we had VIP only course at some point after it. Yesterday, I did an education session as well. Dean, yes. Did you go London session? Yes, I do. Moody, looks like at the moment. User 1, 2, 3, 4 leaders don't need to follow. I don't follow anyone, so yeah, you're not wrong. User GJ taking a dive. Okay. Alrighty. Coming from well above the support. Needs a 30. Coming from consolidation, we need a 30-minute closure. It's not gold. I mentioned quite often, GJ more 90+% of the time waiting for a 30-minute candle. And especially in this situation. Let's just see, maybe a limit order could become valid. What would stop be? 20, around 20 pips. So it needs to close at 800. Below 800. GJ has to be 6 to 8 pips, so we'll just call it 800. That's 6.5 pips roughly. Again, simple rule. Took a 13 pip win. Gold futures, nice one. Eagle, are we waiting confirmation? 15, 30 gold entry. Gold's is doing its thing, mate. So again, I have reasons as to why I wait for my setup, because I know if I have the patience to do so, I'll win 80% of the time. Not saying you can't do, it's a stupid entry if you were to take it. This candle's broke the high of the previous. I just look at it without it resetting, I've missed the best part of the move. Lee, I agree. It's not the amount of trades it takes, the opportunities that you wait patiently for. What you make of the opportunities. I preach that all the time. Okay to go. How much? $30. Include that. You get the full course, which once again, it took me 15 months to finish. I just recently fixed a little error that one of the members made me aware of as well. Yeah, that's all in it too. Plus all the other education. It's not just the course. Yeah, there's a heap more educational content. LV, fair value gap, M30 gold. Is this something we're interested in? Yeah, see, I don't trade them. But I just pure price action, man. I'm aware of them. I don't trade it though. I will be on my team for MY. usually start about an hour before the session open. We go a little bit longer. Now we definitely wait for at least the first 30-minute candle, unless there's, people have to get going. And then into like the hour or so of MY. And to be honest, I really enjoy it because it's just chilled. People can ask questions. We have good chit chat as well. Alright, gold's not necessarily tapped into anything just yet, so not, in my opinion, the best option to sell it. If it is to pull up just here, I'd rather it pop down and see if we do form support lower down for a buy. And JJ is obviously not going to close below, so next thing is to wait for it to see if it eventuates on the 30-minute, because are we just grabbing some liquidity from the downside? Remains to be seen. So the 15 is not going to be valid, but if the 30, however, is to close below that 80 region, the limit order will be valid. Long NQ, 8 ball. Mark, your strategy always seems solid. It's just, for me, it's very easy to follow, and for the majority of you, once you sort of got it down packed, you understand the rules and that type of thing, what to look for. It's very simple at that point. You just need to wait for the right confirmation. Yeah, I've had some great success with some of the people I've been trading for, a long time now. I've had some of the people in my group, I've personally trained with them, coaching them for, a year or so, well over a year before I started the actual group itself. Seen some really good results. One of who is personally just trades NAS and gold and is funded and gets regular payouts. Before it, she had absolutely no idea what she was doing. Even she'd be the first one to admit. Blowing accounts and all. Alright, NQ weekly. Strong bullish. Quite a significant closure. It still remains below the actual highest point of the resistance. And we are respecting it so far. So we'll go down to the daily. So we're strong bullish so far on the weekly. Daily, we do have counter probabilities being to the downside. Structure, you could argue though, has flipped back bullish. Don't like these gaps, but still it's close above the swing point. So counter probabilities being to the downside. Still be more in favor of the sells at this stage. Looking at it on the 4 hour. Can begin to mark in my zones just now. Make sure I'm using the magnet tool. This is where 4 hour zones marked in grey, so I can distinguish between the stronger and the weaker zones. I'll include that bearish wick, and I'll adjust it though if it's not a bullish low. I mean, to the upside, you could also obviously mark that in. To the downside, you could also mark that in. Structurally, we are bullish, and I would argue that's the swing point. I know there's not 2 consecutive bearish candles in a row here, but it does definitely resemble a swing. So I would say as long as we remain above 19,750, we're bullish on the 4 hour. So that being said, we're bullish so far on all the time frames, and the 30-minute is definitely bearish. So off the back of that, you could have options to either side. But to be quite honest, at the minute, I'd rather look for options to buy it, just plain and simply because where it's at a level of support, and we'll leave that in because it is the lowest point of any bullish candle on the 30. So options for me would be, let's go down to the 15. Bit of a tricky one, to be honest. It's not very clean. The cleanest level is back above here.
Thank you.
Elise, I'm not sure if you're trying to, if you are, you're more than welcome. I just can't really hear you. Sounds a little bit muffled. I can see you're on the train, I think, before, so maybe the reception might not be the greatest. But feel free to, if you get a moment, Feel free to oh, you just got off it? Okay. Hope you're well. Reply to your DM. Sorry, I didn't even notice it, to be honest, on Discord. Back to NAS and Q. So the bias is bullish, so I would therefore consider buys from lower down. But again, seeing it is creating a series of lower highs, lower lows, and the daily is forming bearish. We do have counter probabilities being to the downside on the daily. We need to wait for some type of micro trend structure flip, if nothing else, from whether it be this support around at 1990 or 19870. But again, wait for a little bit of consolidation, wait for price to begin to clear that consolidation, and then once you get the strong closure above it, wait for the retest, and then that could be enough to look for a buy and take it back up towards that 19960. Otherwise, I'd be patiently waiting for pullbacks to sell it. I mean, it's dangerous because you're selling into the 4 hours support, but if it does begin to pop below this point here, do have clean traffic down on the 15, down to the lows at 19870, and obviously below it you got some really clean traffic. So that's what I've personally been waiting for, to be honest. If I was to sell it, hopefully that helps a little bit. All right, JJ popping back up. Are there going to be options to buy it? Dean, ignore the 50, mate. The 50 will be closed shortly. It's the same as the 30. It's the exact same as the 30. I can't close it until everyone's migrated over who are from the old plan. So it's the exact same thing. So again, I could talk shit to you guys, say, no, choose the 50, but don't. Choose the 30. It's the exact same thing. I just can't remove it just yet. But there's no difference. Check EU. Sylvia, to sell. What was that? Gold. I'm just hesitant to sell the really strong uptrend, but similar to what I mentioned to the upside before. Now, if this closed again below, the preference is below 0.382. It's a weak pause, weak support. Then potentially could be, I'd rather the support form though. There potentially could be limit orders. However, if it doesn't, sell stop orders. Doesn't look bad, but you gotta remember, prior to it's a really strong bullish candle. You're still in a really strong uptrend. It's very, very risky selling off the back of one bearish candle. Whether it's not the worst bearish candle to, if it does close near its low, to sell off the back of. So that would suggest let's grab liquidity from the upside, upper wick, continuation, sell back down. But yeah, I'm about the buys on gold. Young Asia, all good, man. EU, sorry, sidetrack. Let me look at EU. All right, so similar to, I think I was, well, similar to gold and GU, but gold's obviously engulfing, this isn't. That's hence the reason why, because daily it's tapped into a strong support. So this is what I was talking about on GU, I think before. That if we tap into the support, or was it UJ? I can't remember. So I can't yet call the weekly bullish, but looking at it on the daily, I can see why we might be bouncing, because it's tapped into a strong support on the daily time frame. And it is bullish in structure. 4 hour is, the way I see it, bearish. Has a bit of room though to the upside. You have counter probabilities also to the upside. We'll just use that bearish high for a minute. We'll use that whole zone for the time being. And 30 is bullish, so bias is bullish. All right, options would be for me on EU. Well, technically it's bullish on a 30 until back below support. So I'd prefer to buy it as well. It's quite bullish. A bit late if you're not already in a buy, so I'd be patiently waiting for pullback to the support around that 113.20. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult above the resistance because you're running into some very, very choppy traffic. So right now, I'd prefer to trade the pullback and look for options to buy it. Look, you could get maybe a cheeky entry if this closed weak bearish on the 15 on the following candle using a stop loss below the closure of this candle. And as far as sells, I mean, pretty much have to wait for 113.03, or if you're going to sell it from the resistance, wait for a catalyst. But seeing it's in a pretty strong uptrend, want a pretty strong confirmation to sell it from that high. Let's see what happened here on the 15. Yeah, something similar would be not bad. Wouldn't necessarily be the most easy entry, but you got support, you're breaking support, and look what happened afterwards. Yeah, EU, sorry, doesn't look the greatest. Yeah, similar to GU. Yeah, again, I see it, guys. If anyone is interested in selling gold on the next candle, it's just so very risky when it's in a really strong uptrend. Mark, will the UK Australia time difference be it? No, it's not, mate, because obviously it's early, it's late afternoon, so the stream I start here is generally from either 3:45 p.m. my time to, and like today was 4:30 p.m. my time, and I go into, again, I'm up and about until first hour or so of London's NY session, sorry. And you guys are more than welcome to chat away and help yourselves out. I do an update also. I do a recorded update for NY session, and I jump on again for the most part. Mark, sorry, live quote says you're in UK and it's real. Yep, thank you, mate. Or do I use VWAP? No, I don't. LV, at least you're being honest about it. You got mad FOMO, so you put a sell order. I don't mind that. Wait, Leon, GJ has to close above. Has to close back above. And then, so let's watch GJ. All right, has to close back above. Then what we want to see is the new candle create a low wick straight away. Create the low wick, a decent low wick, and then begin to flip. And that would be enough to suggest to me we may be doing what multiple candles did previously at this point, how we pop down into it, leaving long wicks, only to pop back above it. So that would be based more off intuition, to be honest, more than anything. So let's focus on GJ now. Something I will consider, but I want to close above that horizontal. Yeah, FOMO, it definitely plays a part, but for my trading, it doesn't. I can honestly sit there and not worry if I can't get a move. As long as I react to my plan. All right, so watching GJ, guys. minute and a half remaining. Well, it's popped straight down. You have to be quite quick with it because it could be a market execution. It might be difficult to actually set an order. I prefer to set market to place orders, because then generally speaking you're going to get triggered in at your entry point. Not always. Sometimes you get slipped a tiny bit, or sometimes a lot. Off late it's just been a tiny bit, if anything. Whereas market execution, you just get entered in and wherever they can get you in. So you may, for instance, trigger the button to buy it at 970 and all of a sudden you find out you're in at 995 or whatever. All right, so it's popping down a little bit too far. Gold doing its thing. Once again, not at all worried about Loza on stream. It's 81%. This year it's up this year, because at last year ended at 78, so it's up significantly. This year it'd be close to 80, 85 to 90 in all honesty. Thank you for that sticker, Huber Rock. I didn't even realize it. You probably sent it ages ago. So it's not valid, guys. It's done the complete opposite to what I wanted to do, which shock horror. First of all, it hasn't closed where I want it to close, and secondly, the new accounts open up straight for an upward. Not selling it because we're not below the support. Gold made a significant move down. Yeah, not fast. Not interested in selling gold at the minute. LB, promo strat working. Nice one. All right, so that's proceedings as it is at the minute. What I'd like to see now is moving forward. Preference would be for to pull back and buy it from lower down, in all honesty. But chart can do what it wants to do. But that would be my plan. Otherwise, buys above still definitely on the table. If when I come back pre-buy with my team or up near these highs, I'm definitely going to be looking for buys above. I'm also going to consider a very cheeky sell if it is valid, and my team may know what that is based off the 4 hour. But again, I would like to see how price approaches it before I consider taking a very risky sell. And it's just purely based off the level more than anything else. Otherwise, see, gold doesn't look as bad for sells below this point again, because reason being it was previous resistance. We have formed support back above it, so if we were to approach it, and only to, the preference would be for it to at least trigger in some buys, only to wipe them out, close below. Then I consider potential sell options back below 33, 63, 50 roughly. And GJ could be a nice setup on GJ soon if we close back below that weak bullish candle. Yeah, that's where you want to close below. I'm playing whether I should stick around or not. Working into dinner time at the moment. For my strategy, again, it's just simple price action at predetermined levels. I have some very strict rules. I have signals within price action I look for, and if they do present, I take my entry. for it took. Yeah, I believe at some point it will continue higher. Yeah, anyway, guys, that's what I look for. Closure right near the low. Not, look, has to engulf the body, minimum. Minimum. And if that's the case, it could be okay for potential continuation sells. Otherwise, for the buys, we need to consider whether you got the margin. So if it does begin to form support, you want to see again a little bit of a pause just back above it, and then potentially look for the buy. But I'd still favor the sells just off the back of way we are moving in the current daily, or buy it from lower down. Yeah. This is my opinion of GJ. So yeah, all good. LV cancelled break even. Well, as long as you didn't get wrecked, man. And at least you're being honest about it. And I respect that. Young Asia. Let's all put our whatever lot worth into a sell and not even move gold, but if only. Maybe nice. Alright guys, well, it's that time. Tomorrow I'll be on from earlier. I'll be on from the usual time, which is an hour and 15 minutes prior to session open. An hour and 10 is by the time I actually start it though. So yeah, around that time for those on TikTok and YouTube. Guys, again, VIP is there if anyone is interested. If you want to know more about it, send me a DM. I don't contact anyone directly. Once again, don't be fooled, guys. If anyone contacts you using my name, my brand, it's not me. You guys know where to find me, and I always reply to every message. Feel free to just to say hello, and I do reply and have a chat. Yeah, otherwise, guys, news-wise today, pretty clean slate, so nothing really to worry about. But tomorrow, big one, $40 US. So guys, take care, trade safe. My team, let's I'll keep an eye a bit in the charts after I've had dinner. I'll let you guys know if I see any good decent potential entries. I'll update in the trade ideas section, and otherwise I'll do an update later, and I'll see you on the actual pre-MY into MY call VIP, guys, in a few hours from now.
Thank you, man.
All right, mate. Cheers, everyone else.
See you later.
Appreciate you all. To my members, I'll just end the stream now for you. And TikTok, YouTube, once again, do appreciate the support. Do trade safe, take care, have a good one, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Cheers, team. Bye.